Sensible position that the gun grabbers have and the dangerous position that they hold right now. They don't hold, let me just say this. We hear a lot about semi-automatics. I don't use the term assault rifle, that's a euphemism for negativity. We had an assault weapons ban under Bill Clinton from 1994 to 2004. And it wasn't just me who said it was a colossal failure and crime went up, 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 up. It was the DOJ, the Clintons, Department of Justice, who said that. So this great social experiment failed miserably. And they're still calling for it. Morons. Complete vacant. I mean, this is ridiculous. And Dom Rasso, who knows Dom Rasso, the Navy SEAL, one of the best in the country, and other Navy SEALs say it is the most effective weapon for protection in the home that there is. And the left doesn't even know what an assault weapon, pardon me, I don't mean to say gratuitous bad language, but what a semi-automatic weapon is, they cannot define it. They want to take all your guns away, they're just not being honest. Except Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, and Dianne Feinstein, one time they're honest. It's about this. Also, the only well-intended argument I can think of is, you know how the left uses the argument about kids and guns a lot? Nobody in their right mind wants a kid to die from an accident of a gun getting left out on the table. But they are under the false assumption that any of their proposals was going to curb that. None of them have. You know what it did? An NRA-backed law in Florida had 5 years in prison, a $5,000 fine, cut crime immensely. I recently debated a progressive on constitutional carry, and I said to them, and I pointed out that the FBI mentioned that Arizona, a big state, their crime plummeted, went down with constitutional carry after it was enacted. Vermont has always been a constitutional carry state, and they never had crime. And he was going off, getting excited. I said, name one state where it's went up, where it's gone up. He said, I can't. I plead ignorance, constitutional carry. Why the hell did he come on my show?
Why don't you identify who that was?
Rabbi Barry Silver. You guys know.
Oh, yeah.
If you ever want to hear that, I'll sell my archives. My guest on radioshow.com. But another point is the background checks never work either. They're just designed to take your guns. Do you know what the LA killer, the San Bernardino killer, gee, I thought semi-autos were banned there, Nicholas Cruz, and so many other killers have in common? You know what they have in common? They all pass the background check. We have to tighten the laws on the books. There's thousands of them. But save our freedom is even more important. Let me tell you what is going on in this country now. I'm going to make a bold statement. The Second Amendment is more important than when the authors wrote it. Because there were no nuclear weapons then. They know how to dictate us our lives better now. They're a little more technologically savvy about what emails they read, yada yada yada. And that yada 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 means the most in the sentence. You don't want to know what else they do to you. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have said, we will take every gun away. And she said she'll go door to door. The only good thing about Joe Biden is he has someone worse than him in his VP, and that's not a compliment. How did that woman pass law school? By being a call girl? I don't get it. I got it right, exactly. I'm right about more than they are. But the framers clearly were intent. I'm not going to give you a whole boring history lesson. My show is entertainment more than conservative politics. Sam Adams, Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, you look at their writings. They made it clear they want a free state. And every dictator says, whether it's Castro or Mao Zedong or Adolf Hitler, the best way to control the populace is to disarm them. When don't think they're kidding when they say that here. Joe Biden made a statement about a year ago, which was damn scary to me. He said there may not be a Republican Party by 2024. If he is not a communist, you can change my name. I'm going to say something partisan because I'm the speaker and I'm not part of this group, and I'm allowed to. We have a party called the Democrat Party. You've all heard of them. They're not liberal. They're flat out communists.
Amen.
From packing the courts to free stuff to defunding the police to taking your guns away, from Joe Biden's speech and Fidel Castro's speech were identical, except they were in different languages. We are under a threat, and the lockdowns prove it.
That's right.
Yeah.
We are under a threat of Soviet-style communism in this country.
Martial law.
Martial law, you name it. Lockdowns, another bad thing. But I won't get into that. That's part of what this gentleman mentioned I'm talking about. The important thing is you stay armed and you vote for, even if it's a rhino, it's better a rhino than a communist. I'm not a big fan of Marco Rubio's gun control record. I'm not a big fan of people near my neck of the woods like Maria Salazar and Carlos Jimenez. But they would be better than clones of the squad. Any set day of the week, any second of the minute, any nanosecond of the seconds. But it's all emotion on their side. They said maybe it'll win if we try it harder. So maybe if I try to fly, eventually I'll get over the roof. It makes no sense. It doesn't have to make sense to them. And if they were honest, they say their model is Australia and Canada, which are both becoming dictatorships, and England, which is begging for their constitutional rights back. When I debated Barry, at least he was honest and said he would take every gun away from everybody. He doesn't want gun control, he wants guns outlawed. But if people really meant that, not forget him, people more important, like Charlie Brown. People more important in office would disarm their bodyguards. And we should not have to pay for their security if they are advocating for gun control.
Right.
Take your damn guns away and give the people to use them. Exactly. Tear the wall. The National Rifle Association, which I'm a proud life patron member of, I know is one of the finest organizations in the country. They not only work on gun control, they do shooting campuses, they support our military, and they have award-winning Eddie Eagle program. Where is the Violence Policy Center or Moms Against whatever the hell it is? I try to forget these things. I'm 50, I'm getting older. Moms Against whatever, Bears Against Illegal Guns. Where do they help children? They disarm everybody, but they don't do anything about felons, and they want them erased from prison. I think I made my point very well. I want to give out my website if any of you want to hear my show, and I want to ask questions afterwards. Mike Essen, M-I-K-E, E-S-S-E-N, radioshow.com. I'm on every weekday at 4 o'clock. As I call myself, I'm South Florida's conservative voice.
Is that AM?
No, it's on the internet.
Oh, on the internet.
That's Ben Shapiro and Joe Rogan's model too, so it's not peanuts.
Okay.
I want to open the questions for my patriotic audience. Anybody have any questions for me? Or comments? Or yes,
What are the odds of us ever getting people down south? I mean, Palm Beach County, it's a little too blue, but it's getting a little better as we go along. But Broward and Miami-Dade, what are the odds of us ever convincing those people that we're the lesser of evils for them?
I'm glad you asked that, Suzanne. I'm a Broward citizen, but a Miami-Dade County activist. I grew up there. It's like Yankee fans, don't you root for the Yankees over the Marlins? And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not here to lie to you. Nobody who runs in Broward as a Republican is going to have any chance of winning an election. I feel like I'm living in Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Exactly, Massachusetts, therefore, we got something wrong there. But in Miami-Dade, it's purple county. I think a lot of energy needs to be put in there. One thing about politics you all know is you have to fight battles you can win. I like Reuben Young, I like Jenna Hagan. If you're listening, hey guys, how you doing? In the video, but you have no chance of winning. I'm sorry to tell you the truth, but the truth hurts sometimes. Focus on people who do in purple counties like Palm Beach and Miami-Dade. Any other questions?
Yeah, I actually have a question. One of the things that, you know, that when I do get to the state legislature that's gonna be brought up, you know, is that how do you keep guns out of the hands of crazy people? And nobody wants any guns in the hands of crazy people. But, you know, the counter argument to that is, you know what, if you arm the general population and educate the general population, then those people who are overwhelmingly cowards are not gonna be tempted to make those sorts of attacks like the Nicholas Cruz and the others. However, is there another argument other than that we can use, that we can then present to the legislature and others to convince them to back law-abiding citizens carrying guns?
That if you are charged, that if you have a record of violence of any kind, not this ridiculous red flag laws, which are not only ridiculous, they go against the presumption of innocence. But if you have a record or are let out of prison, you can't own a gun. That I support, don't boo me. Because they are proven criminals. Their rights are not taken away, just like their right to vote is taken away because you're a criminal. When you're a criminal, you don't have the rights people do. You have to see a parole officer every week. If you don't get there, you better get there. So I don't think we should do anything to take away anybody's right in advance, but once you're after the fact, that's the way, then you're done. But I'll tell you something, 99% of the people who are firearms owners are law-abiding citizens. I wish the left would leave us the hell alone. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, what is your, what should I say, I'm trying to think of what I want to ask, but it's voter integrity. I'm really concerned that we're not going to have a fair election again. We have this Wendy Sartori Link in office here in Palm Beach County. And, I had heard that she was talking to Dominion and going to have those machines, making a deal for those machines again. And of course, the main problem was the mail-in ballots. And I'm just wondering, is anybody involved in trying to?
Yes, I'm glad you asked that question, ma'am. There's a group called Defend Florida who is working 24/7 practically to make sure we have free elections. My hat is off to them. I don't know I have one. And I talked to a friend of mine in the state senate. Who here is familiar with Ana Maria Rodriguez? I'm too far down south. But she's a wonderful woman, and she said they have the tightest, some of the tightest election integrity laws in the country. They need to get tighter, I agree.
Yeah.
But it's better than it was 2 years ago. Remember, Trump did win Florida. He won by more, but he won Florida. And Glenn Youngkin won in Virginia with less tight security measures. Thank you, Virginians. You're imitating your forefathers. Good thing. You got a question, sir?
No, it's okay.
Anybody else have a question?
Yeah, just to follow up.
No problem.
These drop boxes, when we had the election a couple of years ago, they stationed 2 people there, and people delivered their ballots. But don't you think the most important thing is signature verification?
Absolutely. Same day voting, ID, signature verification, no drop boxes.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yes, right.
I'll ask one time. Anybody else? Ruth.
Yeah, Mike, you have a fascinating, diverse topic range. You had Abby Johnson on a month or so ago, and you had somebody speaking about Thomas Jefferson recently, and you had the debate with Barry Silver about concealed carry. What's your favorite type of topic?
I like topics, and they're politically based, where I disagree with the guest. I have 3 kinds of shows. I agree, and we kind of bounce off each other, but I don't yes me, I don't yes them, I ask questions. I have a candidate running who either I endorse or support. Mike Velarde, I endorsed you, remember that? Yes, thank you. And, or I have a debate. I'm having a debate tomorrow. I'm promoting my show. I'm a conservative who supports the death penalty. I got a conservative against it. We're gonna duke it out.
Interesting.
Who's the guy?
Tom Gatens from the RPOF.
Interesting.
It's gonna be a great show. Wait, one more question, and then I'll leave.
Yeah, I guess a quick question on, you're talking about the constitutional carry.
Yes.
Keeping track of these figures a couple of years. And Florida, as of now, 2,496,354 since 1988. And in 3 months now, 50,883 got permits, so that's 4,935,651. Do you think if we get constitutional carry like other states, that you'll see a drop in revenue? A lot of money comes into Florida, or a lot more people you think have carry and continue to get permits, even though they won't have to if they get constitutional carry? Whether it's a resident or someone coming from another state.
I don't understand the two questions too well, but let me try to answer that the best I can. I think what we're gonna have is a drop in crime. Revenue here is skyrocketing, so it's not gonna make a difference there because people are coming from all to the land of the free and the home of Florida, all over the country, so it's not gonna hurt revenue. But it's gonna give us a constitutional right back that we need and a method to deter crime. And if you're listening, Chris Sproles or Wilton Simpson, you're jackass rhinos. Just get out of the Senate. I can't wait till you guys leave.
Amen to that.
This concludes my speech. I want to thank all of you. I hope you enjoyed it half as much as I did. And for my cold dead hands, thank you.